And it's showtime. I
Gotcha. We're
think
live.
we're live. Rowan, yo, 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 how's it going over there?
It's going well. It's going good.
I'm, uh, I'm excited for our first live together.
Yeah, that's it. It is. It's something we've been talking about for a while now. It doesn't. It's finally we've finally put it on. Fully made it live. Made it happen.
Made it happen. So I'm hello LinkedIn family, everyone on LinkedIn world. It's Yassin here, coming to you live from Bend, Oregon. It's cold and it was snowing a few days ago. That's a long way from the Philippines. Upper 90 degree to now in the 50s and 40s. But still, it's all good. I'm all fired up. Hello and welcome to our first ever Field Service Excellent show. And I'm excited to kick off the first pilot episode with my partner and Orgo founder and my co-CEO Rohan. Rohan, how is Sunshine Coast going for you?
Yeah, it's good. I'm literally coming from the other side of the world at the moment. Um, Even on different time zones. It's 8 a.m. my time, and what is it for you again?
3
You're
p.m. over here.
3
Yes,
p.m. So
I'm living in the past. You're in the future now.
exactly. So no, I literally on the other side. So it's at the moment now. The sun's up. It's beautiful. I think it's about 24 degrees. So that Fahrenheit is. I think what's that? That's high 70s, low 80s.
That's nice.
No, it's really good. So yeah, sunny coast over in Australia.
Sweet,
Beautiful weather,
sweet.
and
And I
great to be
see
here.
folks are joining us. We've got Nikki over there, Mario, Nia, CJ. What's up? What's up? Thank you for joining us and encouraging these two fellas here. Look, this is our first live, so expect us to screw it up. So, I
Like
beg your
always.
patience. So this is our first live, and before we get into the meat and potato of this episode, I'd love to go through some quick intros, just in case you're tuning in for the first time. You see that beautiful face of Rowan, and you're wondering who these two fellas are. So maybe let me first turn it over to Rowan. Um, Rowan, why don't you flex a bit and give us a quick intro?
Yeah, no problem at all. Yeah, I have the privilege of calling myself a founder here at Origo. We started the business. Sorry, I'm getting some noise in the background. That's how live it is. We started the business back in 2016. And really, Origo itself we didn't really start the business for what it become. We have a bit of an entrepreneurial story, as most startups do, especially startups that aren't funded. Um, so we started the business due to my background in accounting. We were there we were really there to try and find staff for ourselves, and we realised that we're pretty good at doing this outsourcing thing. So let's not just do it for ourselves. Let's kind of open it up to the world, and that's what we did. We started serving customers, and come COVID time, COVID hit, and the world changed kind of
Mm.
overnight. And we seen that the world was changing overnight. It's our business model that we had in the past. While it's still successful and it still works, we realized we needed to make some changes, and hence that's when I ran into you, Yassin. Um,
And
you know, co-
coincidentally, we were neighbors during that
yeah,
time, right? At the beginning of the pandemic, you were still living in Clark, the
yep,
Philippines. And we've always been masterminding together and talking business. But then it came to a point where there was so much alignment that we decided to, go into this together. And that's when I joined 2021. And we transitioned the business from an office setup to a more virtual setup. And, with God's grace, we've been able to double the business over the past few years. So it's been one heck of a journey, and I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah, and I think it relates. It's not only going virtual. It's about looking at the industry different instead of
Yep.
just when we started this and went into business. Our very much our difference was just being in the Philippines was enough. However, COVID has changed that game. We've got to look at things a little bit differently now, and I think that's where
Yeah.
where it aligns to what we're talking about here around operational excellence.
Absolutely. And with God's grace, we've been able to transform the business. Kudos, really, the credit goes to the team. We've got a lot of them over here on the broadcast. We've got Nikki, Mario, CJ, Nia. Hey, what's up, Kevin? We've got Gaia. We've got Ryan, Superstar Ryan. I mean, really, the credit all goes to the team for supporting the transformation that we've went over the past 2 years. It hasn't been easy. There's been a lot of ups and downs. Now, I'm grateful. There's been more ups than there are downs, but when you're growing, right, it's painful growth. But when you've got an eight-player team, it kind of makes things, it makes the medicine go down a little bit more smoother. With that said, now we're at a stage that we're offering a platform solution for field service companies where we give them the people, the process, the technology, the data to help them get work orders completed faster, better, and cheaper. But we're not talking about Origo today, are we, Rohan? So
Nah, not all about us.
why are we here? We're here because we are excited to launch Field Service Excellence. Now, why Field Service Excellence, Rowan? Why is it important for us for now for folks to tune in to Field Service Excellence, knowing there's a lot of podcasts out there, a lot of blogs, a lot of news sites. Why Field Service Excellence?
For us, it was for us. We really looked at the trends that's happening inside of the industry now.
Yep.
Right now, it's what we're looking at is we're facing technician shortages, recession, inflation, whatever you want to call it. Prices are going up. Money is getting tighter. Things are going to slow at some point. We don't know when. The experts have said it's happening. It's going to happen. Who knows? And thirdly, there's a lot of consolidation happening in this space through M&A. So for us, it's things are tightening up. We know that is happening, and the fix of that is really around operational excellence. That's what everyone is focusing on. How do we get better at what we're doing? What used to work in the past, the old playbooks, the playbooks of 2020, 2021, 2022, do need to be changed in some way. And that's really what we're looking at. We're looking at how do we help in this transition? How are we able to bring
Right.
our knowledge of being in this space, not only just in the BPO space or the outsourcing, how can we help resolve those three trends?
Exactly.
And bring operational excellence to the forefront. Let's share what we're doing. And Yassin, I don't know if you want to take them through the rest of this and our vision and our values.
Yeah. Well, like you mentioned, right? You've got three big trends. You've got labor shortage, and it's not just technicians. Like anyone you talk to, right? There's a survey that was done by Service Power that says over 70% of field service organizations they said that they're dealing with a massive skill shortage. Last time, I literally pulled up the vacant job ads that are out there, and there's over 1 million job advertisements out there that's over 60 days old, right? For like labor, for trade, primarily skills, right? Trade skills, and that are going unfilled. And it's not just in field service organizations, or rather field service labor, but it's also in the back office. You can't find any more people to do call center. At least in the Western countries, right? We operate globally, and we see this massive shortage, not just in technicians, but also in back office and support skills.
Right across the board. I don't
Across
think
the board.
there is any. I don't think there is one industry, one department of nearly any business right now that is not facing some sort of shortage,
Exactly.
whatever that looks like.
And on top of that, you've got, roller coaster economy. You've got inflation hitting us really hard. Some people are saying we're going to slip into a recession. Who knows? But we all know that everything that we've done, from increasing first-time fixed rates, is getting gobbled up by costs rising up by 7%. Right? So all that improvement that we've done in the past is getting gobbled up by inflation. Cost of labor, soaring prices on parts and raw material, even fuel prices have offset the gains we're traditionally getting from higher first-time fixed rate, and that's worrying. And not only that, but you've also got a wave of M&A consolidation happening across the industry. You've got, in 2021, over $6 trillion where in transactions was recorded in M&A transactions in 2021. So there's great consolidation happening, and there was a report by ACHR where there was at least 64 acquisitions in the HVAC segment alone in 2021. And they're expecting that to increase in the upcoming years. So private equity are more aggressive than ever in consolidating markets and driving growth. And if you're looking to exit, right, what's your strategy? How are you looking to maximize your valuation? And if you're looking to acquire through M&A, also, how do you set yourself up for success? How do you position yourself as the most promising platform out there? But not only that, once you've acquired these businesses, how do you integrate them as one? How do you operate as one entity instead of like separate, siloed companies? And hence, to answer these questions, we believe that operational excellence and field service is a must. In order not only to survive this upcoming storm, but to thrive. And that's why we're launching Field Service Excellence. Really, the Field Service Excellence for me, Rohan, the mission is to crowdsource the operational excellence playbook. You and I are not the smartest guys that you could find across everything. Definitely, we've got our core skill set, especially in the order to cash cycle, right? But there are a lot more experts out there and smarter people than us in a lot of different areas that would love to bring into the community. And that's one of the first things that we're looking to build is a community around field service excellence and operational excellence. How can we all come together to set that standard for excellence? Because there's no one standard, right? What is a good first-time fixed rate? Who's the credible source to say what's a good first-time fixed rate? What is a good average handle time if you're taking in a service call? What's a good average handle time? Or let's talk about collections. What's a good DSO? There are no benchmarks, no metrics out there to say whether you're doing good or bad or you're in between. And moreover, there are no practices or playbooks that are published out there. Like, you compare our industry to like an industry like SaaS. Man, the data that's available, the education that's available, the insights is just in droves. But then you come into our industry, you can't really find any credible source where they're publishing all of this data and all of these best practices and playbooks for us to all benefit from.
And you look what's happening in this space. There's so much technology coming into it, like all this innovation. There's data. They're starting to look at a lot of these new technology partners are doing, bringing in, they're starting to look at people. How do we get new people into the market? But process, it's what's the playbook? There's not a lot around the standard, and that's where we believe that operational excellence fits into. How do we come together? How do we work on this and build this that we can all benefit from it?
Absolutely. So that's the mission of FXL, or Field Service Excellence, is to crowdsource the operational excellence playbook. And some of the key values, or the three core values of FXL, is one, excellence is the standard. Nothing but excellence, right? We want to know not what's good, but what's best in class, right? What are the benchmarks, and more so, what are the best practices to achieve those benchmarks? So we want to demystify excellence in our industry, and that's our core focus, is setting excellence as the benchmark. And then to achieve that, we have to collaborate, right? So the second core value of FXL is collaboration over competition. Look, there's more demand than than anyone could fill in like 10 lifetimes, right? If anything, there's not enough supply. There's a lot of demand for field services, but not enough supply. So one person or one company can grab the entire market share all by themselves. So for us all to grow as a industry, we have to come together and share what's working, what's not working, and collaborate and mastermind, because there's enough business out there for all of us to so we can put on our family stable, and our employees family stable, and everyone else, and grow this the not just the local economy, but really the global economy, because FXL is a global community, that's whether it's in North America, and in the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, or UK. So it's we're looking to build here a global community of field service executives and leaders, and collaborate and see what's working in different markets and different verticals and different lines of businesses, in different size of businesses, and so forth, and gather that playbook. And lastly, we want to profit with purpose, right? We want to make money. We want to make a lot of money, but we also want to make good in this world. So one of the things that this community, the FXL community, will be focused on is how can we build a better world? And primarily, really, for us, it's through education. How can we upskill the next generation of technicians, of back office workers, right? All that skill and labor that we need for our industry. How can we go into communities that are underprivileged and give that education? And we, at Origo, we already started that initiative with a lot of our partners. And we would love to expand that with the rest of the community and do it at a global level. Not just do it in the Philippines, but do it all over the world. So those are really the three key pillars of field service excellence. Anything to add here, Rohan?
No, I wouldn't. Nothing, nothing that we haven't covered off.
Yep.
To wrap it up, it's how do we bring improvement in the complex business environment that we're going into, and that's around improvements to reduce cost, improvements to accelerate growth, and also have improvements to boost your customers and your employees. That's operational excellence wrapped up for us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we'll be sharing more and more around like how we measure value. How do we what are the drivers of operational excellence, and what is the impact? And technically, it's a roadmap towards continuous improvement, right? To reduce your costs, accelerate your revenue growth, and boost your customers and employees' happiness. And to kick things off, one of the first key initiatives and programs we'll be launching it at FXL is FXL Live. So we will be doing a live podcast just like right now. Me and Rowan will be attending Field Service USA. It's an amazing industry event happening in Palm Springs on April 25th till the 27th, which is next week. and you've got a lineup of who's who in the industry talking about technician, technology, data, people, all sorts of topics that are relevant today for all field service executives and leaders to really reach that level of operational excellence. So we've got us a booth 401. So if you're going to be at Field Service USA, Rohan and I would love to meet up and have a chat. So we'll be going live from the booth. So we'll be broadcasting from the booth, covering the event, just like you would have commentators covering a basketball game. Rohan and I will be covering Field Service USA.
I don't know if we're going to be as good as a commentator for a basketball game, but we're going to give it a try.
We'll try to be as entertaining as we could. But really, the key is Rohan and I are planning on attending no less than 20 sessions. And I'll share those sessions with you in a second here. But Rohan and I are planning on attending no less than 20 sessions. And then Rohan and I will then go live and share our takeaways from these sessions, have some conversations, and hopefully have a chance to maybe have a Q&A with some of the speakers, bring some folks, some attendees for some discussions and some brainstorms and masterminds so you get the benefit from it. And we as a community, we can extrapolate insights from those events and give you behind the scenes of what's going on in the industry. So that's really the angle that we're going for. And FXL Live is, it will be covering, an array as well as I'll be going live and Rohan as well with our partners, with key industry experts. So every session is going to be live where you can come in, join us, ask your questions, engage. And it's not like your typical podcast where you're just, passively listening, but we want this to be a live show where we get the entire community to come and join and collaborate and ask questions. So with that said, I'll turn over to some of the sessions, Rohan. We'll quickly run through the sessions. So to give you a heads up over the sessions that we will be covering, and then I would love for you to take note of some of the sessions or the topics that would be appealing to you. And if you have any questions for the speakers, I'll make sure to ask those questions on your behalf. So with that said, let me share my screen real quick here and go over the sessions. I hope my computer doesn't freeze. All right, here we go. Can you see my screen?
Yep, it's on.
Okay, fantastic. So we've got a 3-day that's super packed with sessions. We've got in total, we've got 21 sessions that Rohan and I are planning to attend. So we split up these sessions evenly between myself and Rohan. And on day one, the sessions that I'm looking to attend is, first of all, is the lifecycle management approach to service. It's a panel by Terry Young, Stuart Werner, and a lot of great leaders and executives in field service to talk about how do you approach service, from holistically, right? Whether it's through installations, repair, after service, right? How do you approach the service from an end-to-end approach? And so that's the first session I'll be attending. So if you've got any sessions in here or any questions for these speakers that you'd like to ask, let me know in the chat and I'll make sure to carry your question to them. And there's also Nikin. Nikin is an amazing founder of a new technology company called Neuron 7. Highly recommend you check out Neuron 7 for AI and machine learning happening, technology that's rapidly growing in the field service industry. The next session will be with Tim Spencer. I've heard great things about Tim from Roger Smeltzer. And he's going to be talking about how to manage growth when you have limitation. In an economy or in a market where you have labor shortages and you have aggressive growth targets, how do you achieve that balance between growth and capacity limitation? So I'm really looking forward to this session with Tim. And then the third session for the morning is a case study around transforming field services with custom software. as you know, technology is everywhere. Right now, post pandemic, having the best tech stack available is not an option. It's a must if you are to keep your customers and keep your employees and run your business efficiently. So I'm looking forward to what Cliff, Brian, and David will be covering around the newest tech stack in the industry. So Rowan, what you've got covered here?
Yeah, I'm going to be first up. There's the Help Lightning. It's actually a sponsored workshop. So we're talking about earlier, work orders, cheaper, faster, quicker, cheaper, faster, better, I should say. This is really spot on. With Mark and also Tim Spencer's joining this as well to really look at, examine the latest tech. And the latest tech for really hyper quick incident resolution and future problem elimination. So it's
More
not about
remote support. Yeah, more
remote
around.
support. Yeah, it's looking at how do you prevent this? I'm excited to see what's coming, what they're doing now. Again, it's a topic that everyone's talking about. Everyone's trying to get across. So I'm keen to see, keen to get stuck into that workshop and see what they're up to.
Awesome.
Have another attending a workshop around building the most effective and useful 5-year strategy for more proactive, prescriptive, and holistic service. So I think that's going to be great to hear what Joseph's doing there. That is
how do we go from break fix model or reactive maintenance to more prescriptive maintenance? And
looking
service.
at the whole, looking at the whole lot, the holistic approach, holistic service, not just being getting a call and sending someone to fix it. So I think that's exciting. Then lastly on day one's another cool one. Out of the tool bag, off the tools into the apps. So really doing another workshop which is hosted by XOI. Get off the tools into the apps. How do we build a modern workforce of elite technicians through technology? How do you put that in front of them? Get more out of your techs, less truck rolls. That's really the goal. So keen to see that led and finish off day one.
Aaron and XOI team has been really coming up with a lot of innovation. We see it through the work with our clients. And Josh Solon is a big advocate of XOI. So I'm really keen to see how much further are people taking this app and technology and integrating it into their workflow, like remote assistance, diagnostics, remote troubleshooting. So I'm really keen to check it out. And I think this falls under the same category of technology, right? Avoiding perpetual piloting, right? A lot of times sometimes we're like so tired trying out software that we end up implementing nothing. Right? We go from one pilot to another pilot to another pilot, and it just it's a perpetual cycle of from one pilot to another, and we don't end up with launching or committing to an actual solution that fits our needs. So I'm looking forward to the insights that will be shared by John, Scott, and David around how to avoid this perpetual cycle of piloting and be able to scale enterprise solutions. Because when even in a pilot, even though you're not investing a ton of money, you are investing a lot of time, right? And a lot of effort that you can get back. So those are some key topics. So we're planning on doing 2 broadcasts. We'll do one broadcast around noon, where I'll go live with my takeaways from the first 3 sessions, and then we'll do a broadcast towards the end of the day, where Rowan and I will do a recap of the day, and then talk about the takeaways from the sessions that Rowan attended. And that takes us to day number 2. Day number 2, it's more about the first session. It's more about how to have a more integrated service model and digital mindset. Basically, it's undergoing digital transformation, whether it's through in your field service organization, in your supply chain, in your customer experience. What are some of the obstacles that you need to be looking out for, and how to overcome them? And Sarah is leading this session, and I'm looking forward to this. And then we've got women in service speak out. So I love it. I love seeing the feminine element coming out and being represented in this conference. So I'm looking forward to see some of the entrepreneurial women and field service executives and how they're looking to achieve that balance and equality and diversity in our industry. Um, then Rowan, it's over to you for the next three sessions.
Yeah, first up, round table. So I think this is the first of the round tables. So there's a lot going on. Obviously can't attend all of them. I think there's 6 round tables happening at once. So I'm gonna jump on and cover which is table 1. And it's really around integrating remote device management and modern field service at
Mm,
scale is the
right.
key.
You
You
see your
know,
technicians. Sorry, go ahead, Rowan.
yeah, no, I was going to say exactly that. Getting technology in front, getting it across, but at scale, not being able to implement and have
Yeah.
across your teams.
Yeah, and it's how and a lot of times we invest so much in this technology, especially in mobile technology, and getting it into the hands of our technicians. But then there's this app and there's that app, and there's gazillion apps that now
Yeah,
where technicians are more concerned about how do they integrate and update all of these systems than working on the actual machine and
yeah.
fixing it. So I think here Michael and Darren will be tackling this issue of how can you have an integrated approach to device management.
In modern field service, I think that's the key
Yeah,
in what's happening today.
exactly.
Yeah, and then next up's a panel, which is really around future SLAs. I think this is important and really fits in with what we're looking to do here at FXL. What are some of the top strategies and tactics to prevent margin loss
Mm,
and get price and performance increases? So what's the future look like? What's the future of our service level agreements, and what are those strategies and what are those tactics to prevent margin loss?
right.
Be thinking into that future, and performance increases too. What does it mean?
Absolutely. So one of the key things is like, yeah, I think the current service model is broken, where I only go to fix a machine when it's broken, but the customer outcome or desired outcome is to keep this machines running. But I only get paid if the machine is broken, right? And how do we change the model? And I guess this is what this session is going to propose. How do you change up the model where if you actually, because as a service company you only get paid if you roll out a truck, right? If you try to resolve the problem remotely, right, you don't get paid. If your technician fixes the equipment faster, you get paid less. At least that's the mindset, right? So we want to,
Sometimes it's good to have the slower technician. Who might get
exactly.
paid more.
We literally heard that from service leaders saying it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, like as long as it's within the limits that were set by the OEM and like the warranty, like I'll take all the time that I need because that's how I make money. So there's a little bit of misalignment between desired customer outcome and how we get paid as service companies. So I'm looking forward here to seeing like, are they going to talk about like how do you create contracts around uptime as a service?
Yeah.
How do you maintain your pricing? How do you get paid actually more if you help me reduce the cost of ownership and my the cost of repair and maintenance, right? So
Mm.
I'm really looking forward to what Michael Kirk, Sasha will be covering here, and what's the future of service level agreements hold. So moving on.
Yep. And lastly, can't miss it. Who doesn't like hearing Roger talk?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm gonna join there and listen to which is important. Gen Zs and millennials, even though we're millennials, we're a part of that group.
Yep.
But really, what is that language? It is different. How do you offer? How do you engage? And Roger, we know firsthand he's done this quite well.
Oh yeah.
And some of his practices are even been implemented into Tech 20, who bought his business. So it's going further. And I think he's a real expert in this space on connecting, especially with his background. With
In
Roger being
education. Yeah.
education, being a principal, right? He's been on the ground. He's ran a school for over 5 years, so he really knows how to
Mm.
connect, and I think it's important. So I'm looking forward to hearing Roger's insights there, and hopefully getting Roger on and doing a live with him after it. That's going to be my
Yep.
goal. So
Absolutely.
looking forward to that.
And then we've got 3 more sessions on day 2, which is the next one is creating a connected service offering with your connected assets. So how do you, with IoT, spreading across the industry, how do you create a service offering and pair it up with connected assets, right? So it's more like a just like in SaaS, right? It's how do you connect, whether it's PM, prescriptive maintenance, monitoring, remote support. So I'm looking forward to what Craig, Boris, and David have to cover here. And then we've got Sid covering, some, Lean Six Sigma, I guess, tactics here. How do you drive efficiency and improvement by speeding up the root cause analysis? When something breaks down, how do you speed up that root cause analysis and get to the core cause of the breakdown, so you're not dealing with the symptoms, but you're dealing with the core problem? So I'm curious, is he using any sorts of special technology, data algorithms? Like, how is he going about speeding up that analysis of failure analysis of machines? So that's going to be exciting. And last but not least, on day 2, we've got Nick Cribb, the man, the myth, the legend, hosting a panel around the shrinking labor pool, and how do you attract labor from your local community, local college, trade schools, and even go into international markets, which is a really hot topic, especially at Origo. We are starting to put focus into supporting our partners in tapping into technicians in international markets and how to bring them onshore. It's too early to talk about it right now, but it's definitely one of the hottest topics: how to attract technicians from international markets and other non-traditional approaches. So I'm really, really keen to
Mm.
listen in on this session. And again, we'll be going live around noon and towards the end of the day to share our takeaways, and then hopefully interview some of the speakers and attendees. And then we've got day 3. Day 3, the home stretch. We'll start things out by talking about how to move. It's all about sustainability, how to put ESG front and center. Carbon footprint, environmental, right, consciousness, and all of that. How can you, again, this ties, profit, this ties back to the core value of FXL, profit with purpose. How can we make money, but at the same time, or not, but while at the same time, build a better world? And then we've got my man, Josh Zollin, talking about reviving a profession. As we all know, millennials, Gen Z, they may have the wrong perception about our industry, and what it takes to succeed in this industry and how much money you could make. And there's not a lot of education around the benefits and the opportunity that this industry offers. I mean, I have never seen. I've yet to see anyone in field service firing people, but I've definitely seen in a lot of those high tech industries. You know, a lot of people don't have a jobs, but if you come into field service, there's more jobs than we could fill. So I'm curious to see how Josh is looking at reviving the profession in the eyes of the millennials and Gen Zs, and how we could all participate in that effort. Then we're going to talk about data, right? Your biggest market cap companies, you know, the Facebooks, the Googles of the world. It's all about data. So how can you mine and leverage your own data to identify business growth opportunities? So this is for the nerds out there, for the data nerds out there. Definitely, I'll be taking copious note, especially to pass it on to to our business intelligence team on how we could also leverage data to help our partners and community members and clients grow. And then we've got the last 3 sessions at the event with Rohan.
And yeah, following on from data, it's moving from you know, the data, the architecture. Then how do you actually utilize and harness and integrate all of your customers' data to really better serve them? That's the transition, which is exciting. So keen to see how that's happening. We've seen a lot of great things happening in this space, but this would be it'd be a great transition to see
how
how
to use
we can
the
do
phone, email,
it. All of the
chat,
touch points, as much data as you got.
SMS,
Yeah.
physical touch points, when you've on-site touch points. How do you integrate all of that into a seamless customer journey?
Yeah. And then to finish out the day is our interactive workshop. This is really around future of service. How are we re-imaging the future of service? So a lot of facilitators, a lot of people on board, and keen to see. Keen to work through that, everything we've learned over the last few days, and we've been talking and networking, and now it's about to put it all together in an interactive workshop. And there's some great names there. And then lastly, as we always, is an AMA asks the experts anything. That's got to be something we cover and gather those insights.
Yep. And I'm looking forward to chatting with Roy Dockery from Flock Safety, VP of Field Operations. Roy is a good friend and an amazing leader in the industry, and I'm looking forward to his takeaways. So I hope we didn't bore you going through all of these sessions, but we just wanted to give you a heads up over the sessions that we will be covering. And then we'll be going live from our booth 401 to share with you our takeaways and insights, and what are we going to bring back to our partners, our clients, our own business, and to the community as a whole, and start building the playbook of operational excellence. So we'll be going live on the 25th, 26th, and 27th. Stay tuned. Keep your eyes on my profile and Rowan's, as we will be publishing all the sessions we'll be attending, and we'll be fielding questions from you so we can ask the experts and have some amazing time and share with you some amazing learning, even if you can't attend. So our goal is to give you that behind the scenes of what's going on in the industry. Whatever you are in the world, will be your eyes and your boots on the ground to give you that, so you're not missing out on all of that insight and learning.
Yeah, and we want to keep it pretty raw and fresh. You won't see too many edits and too many fancy openings. You might even hear the old noise in the background. It's really about yeah, for us, it's around sharing that excellence, that operation excellence. We're focused more on that, the insights, the knowledge, building this together, sharing these insights over quality of work. So yeah, that's us, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be it's going to be a big 3 days, and I'm looking forward to the next events too. This is just the start of the launch. It's we've got some cool stuff in sight. So
Absolutely awesome. Well, thank you for everyone who joined us and cheered us up. Really appreciate you. Much love. And I am looking forward to going live on the 25th. Until then, make your days great. God bless.
thank you very much. Thank you.